Good morning, Twitch.tv. Good morning to YouTube as well. And, of course, good morning, Mini Motorways. Let's go to Los Angeles for today's daily challenge. Some of our colors will always be circles. And, hey, we start with 3 motorways. 3 motorways sounds different. Did you patch that? Was there a patch DPC for the many motorways start? I think it used to be 4. I don't know. You'd think I would know things about this game given that I've played it something like 830 times going into today. Hold on, I can open my gimmim.txt. This is episode 888 of Good Morning Mini Motorways. So you'd think I would know things about this game, but you'd think I'd be good at this game after 888 editions of Good Morning Mini Motorways. That is not the case. We do have a red circle over to here. We'll run this red house down this way, get another one right there. Hopefully one will spawn in exactly this location. That is not that location, game. Rude. Very exceedingly rude. There. Jeez. Honestly. Hi, Nora. Yeah, you're all meow at me, aren't you? I just fed you. You have been fed, so you don't get to meow at me. Those are the rules. If the cat has been fed, the cat does not get to meow at me. That is the rule we're going with, I assume. Alright, so these houses swing over to here. This goes there. Hope everybody had a good Mother's Day, or at least a fine weekend. I went and saw The Sheep Detectives with my mom and my siblings and such. It was fun. It's a cute little murder mystery with Hugh Jackman and a bunch of CG sheep and half the cast of Ted Lasso, because it takes place in a played-up version of a comedic England or Australia. Probably, supposed to be Australia. They very pointedly say this country instead of ever nailing down which country they're talking about. But it's in England or an Australia of some sort. Let's see here. Features the dude who played Varys on Game of Thrones, who I'm sure is an actor with a full and complete life and story, whose name I should know, but I don't. That dude plays a butcher. He's funny. It's good. You 3 swing over to here. 1, 2, 3 of you serve that business. This yellow house here shall swing up in a, give me 30 road tiles. Swing up in a thisly manner to serve this business. We'll avoid using our 1 and exactly 1 bridge for the moment. Oh, awful. Truly awful. Oh no. Oh, I don't care for this in the least. Alright, so what we're going to have to do, I could run the reds down and around and figure out some way to finagle the blues up to here, or we're going to do what we're going to do. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a roundabout centered right here about, and by having a roundabout centered there about, we can have yellows go off this way, reds go in like so. We can even split some of these so they're not all dominating like such. Okay. And now we swing our blues from here. We use that bridge we didn't use for this house. You remember how we saved this bridge? Well, now it is time to use this bridge. This bridge comes over here. You go up that away. 3 of you light blue houses get into this house, and everything shall be just fine. Doot, doot, point you doot. This blue does not need to mess around with this roundabout. Can I? No, I could cut this corner coming out of the roundabout, but it would have to be awkward and bad. Here, let's do it this way instead. There. That feels mildly better for reasons I don't care to elaborate. Now, I could send this blue down through the roundabout, but God, that sounds like work. So, instead, I think we'll just swing it in that manner, burn an extra 10 road tiles, getting a 5th and additional house to serve this circle. That'll be just fine. Take us a 4th motorway. Always take a motorway rather than a bridge, unless you, desperately need the extra 10 road tiles. just because motorways can go over water, and they're much, 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 much more versatile in just about every way. Oh, let's see here. Ooh. All right. We've got double-headed awfulness going on here. Hold on. Can I rework all of this? Hold. Hold. Well, We've got this red that just spawned down here, right? What if we chop these and we point these two down here, and then you go that away. These two reds can then swing in like so and serve that business. I was looking at something that would involve like these 3 reds serving this circle and these 4 reds serving maybe this and these. Yeah, this is a less extensive explosion than I was initially considering when I paused, but I think this is a little bit better. I'm also going to draw motorway number 1, at least for the moment, although probably for the long term. Yeah, I think we're just going to have motorway number 1 exist in this fashion. I don't like the way that approaches the business. I'm going to change it. So we're going to wait for this car to come back out here, and then I'll replace motorway number 1, and it'll look pretty. It's very important that you make things look pretty, otherwise they won't look pretty, and, well, we can't have that now, can we? You 3 swing over to here. See how pretty that looks? Nice, smooth, swooping arc there. Now, granted, everybody has to get out of their house and immediately herc the wheel to the left, but once you do that, you've got this nice, big, swooping deal, and then it'll be fine. It'll all be fine, I'm sure. All right. Ooh. This yellow here has gone circular and now requires additional dude space, which don't love. Is there anything I can do about that? I mean, probably. You know, we could restructure all of these roads, free up this, have this blue swing down here out of that, or just sever that connection. We don't actually need that connection. Like, I can just kill this road. These houses can, in fact, support this business all by their very personal selves. And then we just do that. And now we're back up to having 5 yellow houses. Well, never back up, but we're up to having 5 yellow houses serve this yellow circle, which is good. I think the scientific term for what we were going for there is that's good. So, okay. Oh, hi. Well, now we have additional light blue folk, which can come up this way. Okay. I already don't have to pull any of these away from here, which is good because, as it turns out, that business is a little more fucked than I gave it credit for. Yeah, you're in a bit of a pickle here, aren't you? Okay. Well, let's see here. If I restructure this, I'm looking to do that thing I said I wasn't going to do, which was run the light blue through the roundabout. If I just do that, that gets an additional light blue house over here, but it does create another obstacle in the roundabout, and I worry that that might be rat-wiking it. I wonder if that might just turn this into a rat-wike, because this is going to be... This blue will be the most commonly used blue because it's the closest. We'll have to have us a look-see at that. Beyond that, I don't know what the hell to talk about. Because the Mets are in free fall. And the world is the horrors. So I hope y'all enjoy in-depth play analyses of Good Morning Mini Motorways, because that might be all I fucking got. Let's see here. This green is... Ooh. Well... Okay, hopefully a greenhouse... Okay, a greenhouse spawning over here is actually preferable to me, just because this is a nice, clean, easy answer. Render unto me a motorway. Definitely didn't need the additional 20 road tiles, so we'll just take the fourth motorway. Oh, good. I continue to be rewarded for the decision to use these northern greens for this business. When there was one greenhouse here and one greenhouse here, I was like, what the hell are we going to do about this? But it turns out to have worked out just fine, so that's good. All right, let's see here. This business is fine. This business is A-okay. I just heard a house spawn, but I don't know where. Maybe it was this one. Entirely possible. Am I going to force things such that you get onto a road, yellow guy? I don't think I am. I mean, hey, look, you're on a road. Actually, yeah, that's probably fine. Might create a very small bit of trouble right here, but nonsense. There are at least 3 yellow houses that will be brought in before this, so not going to worry about that. Speaking of things about which I'm not going to worry, we'll just draw a nice, simply little road right here. I will take a roundabout rather than a second bridge for the moment. Although, I'm a little annoyed at the placement of this blue house, given that I just drew this bridge, but it's fine. We'll draw a shorter bridge. And we'll get another here going there. I think we're going to steal this house for this business. This green is going to wind up getting a motorway associated with it, just because it is horrendously awkwardly placed. Let's draw motorway numero dos right about there. So yeah, the thing with the Mets is it feels like they've hit a truly ridiculous number of worst case scenario outcomes with all of their dudes. And like on an individual player by player basis, it is not, you can't say that the stuff that's happened with the Mets was unforeseeable, right? Like, let's just go down the Mets baseball reference page for a second. That's going to be fun. So Francisco Alvarez, on balance, has been about an average hitter this season, and his defense hasn't been great. Neither of those are terribly surprising. I personally expected a little bit more from Alvarez this year. I thought that his offensive progressions at the end of last season were a little more real, true, and genuine than they turned out to maybe have been. It's also like, there's also the caveat here that it is May 11th. Like, they've played a month and a half. So Francisco Alvarez has been on balance a league average hitter for a month and a half. He started off really well and has since struggled fairly mightily. That could just be noise. That could just be fine, whatever. Mark Vientos, thanks to a very recent power surge, has, on balance, been terrible. He is a horrendous defender who can hit sort of, according to the stat line, he is a horrendous defender who can hit sort of okay, but really should only be used as a DH against left-handed pitchers. That's not very good. And it was exactly what I personally thought Mark Vientos was, and what a lot of people thought Mark Vientos just was. So Mark Vientos hitting and playing like a fucking terrible defender who should really only be a DH against left-handed pitching, which isn't a role that a team that ostensibly wants to be good has on its roster. Not surprising. Not really surprising. Marcus Semien has been very bad. It was expected that he would be bad. So the Mets kind of probably knew what they were getting here. They didn't trade for Semien so much as they traded away Brandon Nimmo and had to take Marcus Semien in order to be rid of as much of the contract commitment to Brandon Nimmo as they were. So this was a trade that was made with the next 4 seasons in mind, and boy, a bunch of people sure do hope that the guy who made it is here for the next 4 seasons. So we'll see. Francisco Lindor was pretty bad and then got hurt. So that's not good. Let's see. This blue business is really mad, by the way. You have 4 houses and a motorway dedicated solely to you, bud. Why are you angry? Also, this yellow business existed for a while and I didn't see it. That's my bad. These yellows here are so good and fine that actually I'm going to chop this yellow road, and the existence of this yellow business means in addition to chopping that yellow road, I'm going to do this with these light blues. Y'all are going to come down here. I'm going to reroute this to be like this. You coming out of here will have a PCTL. This should be fine. This dark blue business down here is just going to get another motorway. We're just going to... Actually, no. We're going to reroute the yellows to go up and over all of this Garbo crap. And we're going to have you go down that way. There. So now the 4 of you serve that, and the 4 of you via motorway number 3 can serve that. So Francisco Lindor, who always has a slow start to April, had a slow start to April and then suffered an unfortunate injury. Very foreseeable. Any player getting hurt is foreseeable. Francisco Lindor never gets hurt, but, you know. Again, the theme here is each and every one of these was foreseeable. The fact that all of them happened probably was not. This red business is starting to struggle on account of its roundness and only having 2 houses. So, let's put this red up to here because this red does not have much dude flow. So, hey, you know what? It occurs to me that I don't necessarily actually need to run these reds into the roundabout. They can just come down here and PCTL. That's much better. You could just come down here, have a PCTL onto this road, take a little bit of pressure off of this roundabout, and that'll make everybody's life easier. The fewer cars going through the roundabout, the better the roundabout is. This is an inherent problem with, well, road networks, actually. The same exact words in the same exact order can just be said about road networks. So, anyway, let's run these red houses right here. Boop, boop. And I'm also gonna voop. So now I have 6 red houses that come together at this point right here. And we're just gonna draw motorway number 4 over... Hold on, I have an idea. My initial idea was that we would have motorway number 4 supplement these 2 houses in serving this business. But what if we do something more, complicated and stupid? What if we do something complicated and stupid instead? I think I like that. Here. Let's kill this bridge. Let's add these reds right here. Going down that way. Let's take these light blues, point them up this way, run them in this manner, such that these 1, 2, 3, 4 still go over to here. This red can voop, 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 wind up serving that. So now we have 4 instead of 2 going here, an additional red going here, and these 6, motorway number 4 themselves, into this circle. We reclaim this blue bridge, and everybody's fine and good. Theoretically, maybe, everybody's fine and good. Everybody appears to be fine and good. Hooray! Bo Bichette has been fucking horrible this season, and it was not expected that he would be fucking horrible this season, although it is worth noting that he was fucking horrible in 2024. And it's always possible that a dude who was fucking horrible and then was not fucking horrible will return to being fucking horrible. Let us now jump ahead to Brett Beatty, who was, up until 2025, fucking horrible. And then, in 2025, was not fucking horrible. He has been, this season, fucking horrible. So, that's unfortunate. I don't think anybody expected Brett Beatty to be this fucking bad, but, yeah, Brett Beatty's OPS Plus is 69, which is not, despite what you might think, nice. Juan Soto got hurt and also has gone into a funk over the last week or two. He has 136 OPS Plus. He's Juan Soto. He'll be fine, probably. Let's take a bridge rather than a third and fourth traffic light. Probably don't need that. Luis Robert was, on balance, a little bit disappointing and then got hurt because he had to play every day because other guys were hurt and bad. Well, that's kind of a thing that you thought might have happened. Carson Bench turns out to have horribly fucked his swing and was not, and perhaps is not ready for Major League Baseball, which is unfortunate, but that is the thing that happened. Jorge Polanco played hurt for 3 weeks for some reason. Like, the Mets signed a guy who is known to need occasional trips to the injured list. He got injured, and then they just played him because, they were already in a bit of a tailspin and they were desperate for answers, and then they just didn't do the thing that needed to be done with him until it became unsustainable. So he needed to be on the IL, wasn't on the IL, and is now on the IL. Yeah. Brett Beatty, we already talked about. Tyrone Taylor turns out to be cooked. Listen, I'm not a professional talent evaluator. I'm not saying I know everything in the world. I could have told you Tyrone Taylor was cooked. I've seen Tyrone Taylor play baseball. But, the Mets didn't think Tyrone Taylor was cooked. It turns out Tyrone Taylor's cooked. They've given 55 plate appearances to MJ Melendez, which has gone better than... If you told me that MJ Melendez has had the best 55 plate appearance stretch of his career in his time with the Mets, I would believe you. I don't think this is real. No one thinks this is real. MJ Melendez last year had an OPS plus of -10. This year it's 142. So, good for him. Luis Torrens has been fucking horrible, and they extended him for some reason.
The record show that this viewer was here first.
Peter S. was here first. Good morning, Peter S. Thank you for being here. We're ranting about the Mets, because of course we're ranting about the Mets. What else would we rant about? I still don't understand why the Mets extended Luis Torrens. He's a good defensive catcher who can't hit, like, at all. If you want a good defensive catcher who can't hit, like, at all, you should wait for the Guardians to cut Austin Barnes, given that they just acquired Patrick Bailey, a good defensive catcher who can't fucking hit at all. Now, granted, the Guardians paid a rather large sum for Mr. Bailey, but, depends on how much you enjoy left-handed pitchers named Tugboat. And to be clear, I very much enjoy me a left-handed pitcher named Tugboat. I think it is fun that there exist left-handed pitchers named Tugboat. Let's see. I don't know that I would trade a left-handed pitcher named Tugboat for a good defensive catcher who can't fucking hit, but I'm not a three-time World Series champion baseball player and presently employed manager of baseball teams, like, not manager in the field manager sense, but POBO of baseball teams. I'm not Buster Posey, is what I'm getting at here. Let's see. We're starting to have some problems, specifically, with everything, actually. This roundabout's getting a little dicey. This yellow business is mad. This blue business is dying. I can add another blue house to it, although that will ultimately just further complicate the roundabout, so maybe not the best thing to do. I can put a red here and then extend this road going up this way, so that gets 2 more houses pointed to this dyeing business, which ain't nothing. I can also... I should really get, if I can, more yellows for this yellow business. Because, like, this yellow circle is dying simply because it doesn't have enough dudes going to it. There are not enough dudes to support the demands of that business, which I understand. Here, let's take 2 of these houses right here. I'm going to take these 2 houses as well as this yellow house. We're just going to run that. Hey, Spotify, why aren't you playing music? Oh, you are playing music. You're just playing a song that has a big pit of silence in it. Well, that's stupid. God. Anyway, let's take these 3 yellows, and I'm just going to motorway number 5 them right down to here, and everything will be a-okay for that business. As to the other dying businesses, I don't know, man. They might just be fucked. Let's take these 2 reds, I guess, and do this. Sure. That seems reasonable. Imagine living in this neighborhood for a second. You've got 4 motorways over your head. That's probably fine. Oh, God. This yellow business, is there anything I can do for you, friend? I don't know that anything can really be of assistance to you in your moment of need here. This yellow has caught up, which is good because I just robbed dudes from it. This green's doing great. Well, can't I change any of these houses' colors? Man, there should be a power-up. That would be broken, but if there was a thing where you could have like 5 house color changes, and maybe that's one of the weekly rewards is you get another 2 or something, and you can just go boom, 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 you're yellow, pff, come with me. That would be very nice. But no, that is not a thing. Not at all a thing. While we're here, by the way, I know I've spent much of this episode ranting about the Mets. I do want to send good thoughts to Casey Lucas, who is with Dinosaur Polo Club, and I'm going to be vague because she intends to delete the thing, but Casey's going through some stuff, and that sucks because Casey's excellent. So have a good thought, say a good word, whatever it is you tend to do for Casey Lucas. Today, we're thinking about her. We're also thinking about this yellow business, which is dying, which is a terrible transition, but you know. Oh, let's see. What can we do about this other than watch it burn? I think we just watch it burn. Like, I've got these 2 yellow houses here. I could scramble, but scrambling. Sounds like work. Sounds like effort. Sounds like nonsense. We could be ranting about the Mets, which, I mean, yeah. Ronnie Mauricio, turns out he's crap. Jared Young got hurt, which means next season we get another season of pretending Jared Young's ever going to be anything. Tommy Pham literally went 0 for 13 and got cut, so that's great. That's good. I don't even know who Andy Ibanez or Vidal Brujan are. They're fake gentlemen who don't actually exist. And then the Mets have a bunch of pitchers, many of whom are good, actually. You know, Clay Holmes has had an excellent season. Nolan McLean might be the best rookie pitcher in baseball. Christian Scott had a good start. Hey, good for him. That's 1 in a row. 3,591 commuters over 109 days. Well, that's not good. It feels like a fine score. It's top 20%. The fact that we lost and failed and died isn't great, but, you know. Go ahead and drop those Samurai slams in the chat if you should happen to possess them. And let us bring in our good friend, the Wordle. Hello, the Wordle. The Wordle today is Olive, because of course it is. Let's see here. There's an L and an E. I was not expecting when I stole this bit from Clancy the Crow that olive would be a very good starting word, but olive turns out to be a pretty damn good starting word a lot of the time. It's got 3 vowels and an L, and it turns out that those are important things. Oh, let's see here. It could be legal. There's absolutely nothing saying it's not legal aside from our recently discovered knowledge that it is not, in fact, legal. But I did figure out where the E goes, so that's something. It could be, well, it can't be metal because we know there's no A. It also can't be metal because we know there's no A. And also the L doesn't go there. So 2 very good reasons. Instead, it could be, it can't be melon because there's no O. It could be mellet, aside from the small problem that that's not a word. Sad. All right. It could be... It could be telly. No, we know that there aren't two L's, but it could be... Hirsch. That's a good... It could be Welsh. Could be a person from Wales. Actually, we're kind of on to something. Could it be Jewel? No, it can't be Jewel. Because we know... Okay, so we know that the L has to be the fourth letter, right? Because we know it's not first or third. We know from when we used legal that it's not fifth. And we know that E is second. So it has to be the fourth letter. And we know that W isn't the first letter. So it could be something like that. It could be muley, which is an adjective to describe a kitten. No? Okay. It could be pewly, which is the way you want to fashion a bench if you're building it for a church. No? Okay, fine. It could also be... Which isn't a thing. It just isn't a thing. I don't think there are any words that end in LW. So, it's gotta be something EWL something. Rooly, tooly, pewly, dooley, dooley? The fewly, the proudly, the marinesly? Okay. You could be doing something in a manner akin to someone who you think might speak Yiddish. No? Okay. How committed am I to this why? Why am I so committed to this why? It's a good question. Oh! God, it's all the way down at the bottom of the fucking keyboard, and it's the one that's an actual word. We got there. Don't ever let it be said that we didn't get there. All right, so let us do some time guessing. We've got a parade, specifically, spend $100 for more, and spend $100 or more and get a teddy bear for $10. That's a hell of a thing to... Okay, so you're having a Santa parade at the Viking Center in Hawaii. Okay. Well, hold on. How sure are we that this is actually in Hawaii? Because you could just be a kid wearing a hat. Like, all due respect, kid in a hat, you could just be a kid in a hat. Speaking of things being in a hat, I saw the Sheep Adventures, Sheep Detectives, on Mother's Day. Had a good time. Before the movie, we saw many trailers, all of which were bad. One of which was for a new Cat in the Hat movie, and oh my God, that movie looks bad. If not for J.K. Rowling, Dr. Seuss would be in the running for authors who have done the most to discredit themselves, simply because of the way his estate has handled the movie rights to his material. There has not been a good movie made from a Dr. Seuss book in, at this point, decades. Oh my God, the new Cat in the Hat looks so fucking bad. Anyway, let's see here. I'm trying to see if we can read anything else here to confirm that we're actually in Hawaii. Win a Santa Bear adventure. Lucky children will have the chance to win a Christmas adventure of a lifetime. Buy anything, from the Toy or Owl Defense Bear Squadron department and be in to win. Bunch of garbage from Eagle Air. Okay. Thanks a bunch, Eagle Air. And also our friends at McDonald's. Okay. Yeah, this might well be this does appear to be an airport. Are we just at the airport in Honolulu? Buddy, are you a pilot from the airport in Honolulu? I don't know. Pilots don't live at the airport, but you'd be surprised. All right. We are at the Honolulu International Airport, I guess. This looks more like a downtown area, but it's also a loading zone. Okay. We are at Honolulu International Airport in 19... Don't move the thing? No. You gotta herk the thing a little bit to the right. 1977? Could this be 1977? Feels kind of 1977, I'm not gonna lie. All right, this I think is Hawaii. That, it turns out, is Hawaii. Wonderful. Well, that's Hawaii, but this is also Hawaii because this is all Hawaii because, I actually don't know who to blame for the fact that one of the islands is called Hawaii, but also the whole archipelago is called Hawaii. That could be on the natives. That could be on imperialism. I don't know. Anyway, we are at what we're going to say is Honolulu International Airport of some kind, by which I mean airport in Honolulu. Hey, look, it's an airport in Honolulu. We're at an airport in Honolulu, Hawaii in 1977. We are, in fact, in Auckland, New Zealand. Son of a bitch. What the fuck? What the fuck, Auckland, New Zealand? With your dollars and your stars and your stripes and your kids in hats that say Hawaii? What the I said nice things about... Urgh! Next. God. All right. Fine. We got some folk on a hillside. Jesus. Yeah, hi, Sam. If I was a person who recognized flags, this would be very helpful. I'm not, so it's not. Oh, Lord. All right. We got some booze. Appears to be champagne. We got fancy hats. We got water. Are you just watching a boat race? Are you watching boats? Is this the America's Cup? Are we in Jolly London Town? I don't know anything about anything. Did I go for Hawaii? I went for Hawaii. Stinking New Zealand. Let's see here. So yeah, we got boats. That's all I can glean from this. We got tiny, narrow, ship-like boats. Okay. Got a bunch of folk gathered round on the water, watching a thing. I have no earthly idea. Is there maybe... Wait, is that a... No. I thought this might be a flag. No, it turns out to be a thing on a binder or perhaps a towel. And we got fancy dresses and dudes in shirts and dudes in jackets. And this guy kind of looks like Walton Goggins. Just a little bit. Honestly, this looks like Walton Goggins sitting next to John F. Kennedy, which is a bit weird. Let's see here. StatPad requires you to name a Colorado Rocky from the past 5 seasons, and you can't do it. Well, that's on you, Sam. I can name 2 off the tippity top of my head, and I'm not giving you either of them. Is this Belgium? Is this a flag of Belgium? I think this might be the flag of Belgium. And my half-remembered guess that this is the flag of Belgium will form the basis for my entire guess here, really. We're going to Belgium, which is, well, I will now draw... Oh, there it is. Thank God. We are in Brussels, obviously, on the banks of some body. Is there a body of water in Belgium? Oh, here. I know where we are. We're right fucking there. We are right fucking there on this lovely body of water in the middle of Brussels, which is in Belgium, which is in 19 Don't Move the Thing. And it turns out we were in Bucharest, which is closer to Brussels than Auckland is to Honolulu, you know? Okay. Next. All right, we've got this dude's on the cover of multiple things. This is a book about India, and by book I mean magazines. This is the entire history of the world, I guess, so that's nice. Now, are you selling this for a nice number of cents, or are we in the year 1900 and nice? I think we were just in the year 1900 and nice, weren't we? Oh well. Let's get some headlines from your paper here. The hour of 2 Cifrons is now in Curacao. Okay. So there are a couple of oranges coming to Curacao. Cool. That's good. That of course comes from the World Exports newspaper. Fine. 2 captains of Relva are drowning in plywood. No? Okay. So it's the hour of oranges in Curacao, and naturally, that means that the Dutch are coming. That, combined with this man's very exceedingly Elvis haircut, and the general vibes of these cars, are going to inspire me once again to not move the thing. However, see, I was going to say we're in Curacao, but then I zoomed out and we're not. I don't think this looks like Curacao. And that could be my goddamned white ethnocentrist imperialism showing. Or it could be us not being in Curacao. But, so this is the night of 2,000 Olhos. Well, okay, so this is the night of 2,000 aged prostitutes, which, sure, listen, they need retirement plans just like anyone else. So that's nice. Also, the title of the episode, The Night of 2,000 Aged Prostitutes. I don't know, man. This is the Rinaldi Hotel, where you can get Italian motor scooters. And... alright, fine. We're in Curacao. I will now draw a circle which I'm reasonably certain encompasses Curacao. Cool. Actually, even more specifically, because I know it's not in southern South America. So, like, here's my circle, which I'm reasonably certain encompasses Curacao. Let's see. I think it might be northern South America rather than Central America. Let's try here first. I was right, apparently. It's off the coast of Venezuela, according to Peter S. And hey, that broadly speaking counts as northern South America. There's Caracas. There's Aruba. Curacao, are you one of these tiny islands? There's so many of you. There's Grenada, St. Lucia, Barbados, Martinique, Dominica, Guadalupe, St. Martin, Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, Montserrat, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago, Curacao! Aha! Yeah, this tracks. Yep, we're just going with it. This is correct. We are in Willemstad, which is apparently the big city in Curacao and also on Curacao. Is the island called Curacao? I'm going to assume that the island and the country is called Curacao. So, yep, we are in Willemstad, Curacao in 19 Don't Move the Thing. turns out we were in Lisbon, Portugal in 1974, so it's exceedingly wrong. But yeah, should have leaned a little bit more on the. Also, pop culture knowledge. Peppermint Patty didn't debut until late in the 1960s. So okay. Good job, Sam. Next, we've got this is a flag of Puerto Rico, isn't it? Yeah, that's a flag of Puerto Rico. Okay. In memory of the blood of the wrestlers or fighters or something in the new house of Levanta. So this is a sign that's honoring the sacrifice of the bloody wrestlers in the new house of Levanta. Maybe. I think I got about a third of that. This says Firme junto al pueblo. I know what a junta is. I don't think the angry protesting dude is going to be in favor of a military coup, but you know, it depends on the other alternatives, I suppose. We got a dude on a horse statue. That I saw, by the way, there's another Puerto Rican flag here. This is Puerto Rico. So we're going to Puerto Rico again, sort of, except it'll be right this time. Something Pueblo. Y'all are real upset about your house. Something's being abused in your house. Well, that's okay. Yeah. And the capital's to blame. That I understand why you would be protesting if someone's being abused in your house and the capital's to blame. Now, granted, you're Puerto Rico. Your whole house is being abused, and the capital, by which I mean Washington, is to blame. So, listen, folks, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I don't know the particulars of this umbrage, but you're not wrong. I like how everyone's here, protesting and masking and shouting and spray painting and graffitiing and whatnot, and my dude here is just having a melon, having a snack. Listen, it's important to keep your energy up when you're angry. Let's see here. I don't know if there's anything more I'm going to glean about this. This is somewhere in Puerto Rico, sometime fairly modern, perhaps very modern. I don't know. What can I tell from these cell phones? I can tell that they exist, but now there's a fair bit of masking going on, but there's not like N95 masking. Is just bandana masking, not maxing. Well, they are bandana maxing, but they're also bandana masking. Oh, God. If I ever, unironically, use the suffix max or mog, shoot me. Just fucking shoot me. Please. Please. Just fucking shoot me. All right, we are in San Juan, Puerto Rico, which is, yep, that one's Puerto Rico. We're in San Juan, Puerto Rico in, now where would the, hold on. Yeah, okay. We're in San Juan, Puerto Rico in 2022. Seems reasonable. 2019, and also nowhere near San Juan, Puerto Rico! Is that actually the flag of Chile? Did I just not see the... Did I miss an... Oh. Okay. Okay, so Puerto Rico does use a different flag. This is true. That's Puerto Rico. That's Puerto Rico. And that's what, like, that's Chile. So, you know, all of the elements are there, but turns out that was Chile. So, here's how you play dominoes. By the way, don't gamble on your dominoes. No drunks allowed in the hall. If you're drinking, keep out. Fine. Who's the lady? Can we see who the lady is? No. The lady appears to be selling beer. But no drinking. Here's how you play dominoes. Don't gamble on your dominoes. Buy some beer. No drinking. God, this has to be America. I know it's not, but, well, it might not. It probably isn't. This is from Kansas, though. Hey, we could be in Kansas. Or we could be in some random European half-constructed bar, which has a strange fascination with Kansas, which would track. We've got a painting of the Eichenwald map from Overwatch, basically. All right. Man, if I ever become independently fabulously wealthy and I don't actually have to work for a living, I might be a full-time Overwatch streamer. That would be the worst thing in the history of the world, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be the worst thing I could do with my life? It's just try to make a go of it fresh in 2026 as an Overwatch streamer. Oh, that would be the worst thing I could do. It can always be worse, friends. It can always be worse. Man, I don't know. We are in a bar in Kansas City, Kansas in 1950. Yeah, fine. Because I saw a license plate that says Kansas. So, we're in a bar in Kansas City in 1950. We're just going to Kansas City. We're going to the Kansas side of Kansas City, but we're going to Kansas City. I don't know anything about anything anymore. It turns out that we were in southwestern Kansas in 1941. Okay, fine. 21,911. Did not go well. Not a good time. All right. Wins above replacement. 4. A Guardian who played in the Alds, a Dodger who never played in the World Series. Ooh. This'll be fun. Rocky, a Yankee first baseman, and a Padre who played in the Nilds. All right, fine. So a Cleveland Guardian who played in the Alds is a fair whack of Guardians, actually, because there's been an Alds for a long time. There was one in I think 1995 was the first year there was one in the modern playoff structure. I think there were occasional ones earlier, but in 95 was the time when we moved to the modern divisional structure. And the Guardians played the Red Sox in the 1995 ALDS. Did they? No, they played them in 99. I think the Red Sox yeah, whatever. My point is the Guardians made it to the World Series in 1995. So they probably played in the Alds. So you could be looking at like 1995 Jim Tomei, 1995 Kenny Lofton. These are good guesses. Fast forward to 1999, when I know the Guardians played the Red Sox. You're looking again at Jim Tomei. I think you're still looking at Kenny Lofton. You might be looking at Manny Ramirez in this point. 1999 Manny Ramirez could be a good pull here. And then you've got just a whole bunch of like 2010s through the present Guardians, because there was a stretch where the Guardians were not by any means a very good team, but they kept winning the AL Central because the AL Central was bad. So like if the Twins didn't win it, the Guardians probably won it. Like any recent Jose Ramirez season could be up here. Like what was Jose Ramirez's best season? I'm gonna say I'm going to rest on my assumption that Kenny Lofton should be in the Hall of Fame. This is an argument that I have, and unfortunately Kenny Lofton went one and done on the Hall of Fame ballot, so fuck me, I guess. But yeah, Kenny Lofton, Hall of Fame level player, fucking fantastic career, was in the prime of it in the mid-90s, and the question now is just, which Kenny Lofton season do I want? I'm going to go with 1995. 1995 Kenny Lofton. Had 4 wins above replacement, but is only in the 73rd percentile. I should have gone with James Howard Thom. There's also pick a Jose Ramirez season. Corey Kluber won the Cy Young one year. This shithead exists. Okay, fine. Now then, a Dodger over the last 15 years who never in his entire career played in the World Series. This is fun. Because any of the modern Dodgers have all played in the World Series with the Dodgers. So, like, Clayton Kershaw played in the World Series. Anyone who's on the Dodgers now and is good played in the World Series. Manny Ramirez was traded to the Dodgers, although I think it was in 2009, so he wouldn't be eligible. But also in his career, played in the World Series. So, like, who could you even be pulling from here? My first thought is Adrian Gonzalez, but by the time he got to the Dodgers, he was not very good. Like, he got traded to the Dodgers in 2012 and might have had a good year in 2013, but I am upset they traded him. It was they traded a bunch of good players for the right not to pay a bunch of good players, and then turned around and won the World Series in 2013. Shut up. Could it be Carl Crawford? No, Carl Crawford played in a World Series, didn't he? No. Well, no, the Rays won the pennant in 2008. So Carl Crawford would have been on the fuck. Son of a bitch. It's... Who in the hell could this be? I think this is too late to be Matt Kemp. I think Matt Kemp's peak had gone. Like, Matt Kemp was great in the late 2000s, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Matt Kemp, you played until 2020. This could be Matt Kemp, maybe Yasiel Puig? Was Yasiel Puig on any of the World Series teams? Oh, he might have played on the 2018 Dodgers who made the World Series. But maybe he was... Yeah, Puig and Kemp played in the World Series. God damn it. This has got to be like a dude who had one great year with the Dodgers, but wasn't a long-time Dodger. Because, like, any long-time Dodger over 2010 to 2025... it's got to be pre-2018. Because 2018, the Dodgers made the World Series. So it's like, it's a dude who would have been a contemporary Dodger with Adrian Gonzalez, with Carl Crawford. Is there any chance that the answer is 2013 Carl Crawford? No. Carl Crawford was not good when he was with the Dodgers, I think. Adrian Gonzalez was not very good when he was with the... Fuck me, dude. It could be 2013 Carl Crawford. Was Carl Crawford good in 2013? I don't think he was. For all the anger I've been in over the Sox-Pocalypse trade, it's not like those guys had tremendous post-Red Sox careers. They didn't exactly Mookie Betts themselves, you know? Fuck. Speaking of the Red Sox dumping good players for the right not to play them, and then those good players turning out to be just on the cusp of falling the fuck apart, I saw last night that the Giants are looking to trade Rafael Devers in his massive contract. So that's amusing. So who in the fuck is this guy, guys? Hold on. Carl Crawford would have played in the World Series for the Rays. Maybe it's 2013. It can't be 2013 Adrian Gonzalez. There's got to be somebody I'm missing. There's got to be several dozen somebodies that I'm missing. They have any, like, really great pitchers over this time period? Ugh. All right, I give up. This is me throwing in the towel. Is just saying 2013 Adrian Gonzalez. Turns out to be 91st percentile. Turns out to be an excellent fucking guess. Other years would have been Adrian Gonzalez and Adrian Gonzalez. So, good job, Goog. And then you've got Hanley Ramirez. Okay, fine. Good job, Goog. You got there eventually. Name a Colorado Rocky between 2020 and 2025. Hunter Goodman's good. Brenton Doyle's good. Well, Brenton Doyle was good. There was a Brenton Doyle? Which year was Brenton Doyle good? Was it 24? I think it was 24. We're going to go 2024 Brenton Doyle. Hell yeah! 92nd percentile. Take that. Also, there's some other dudes. But yeah, Brenton Doyle, a present Rocky who was once good. Yankees first baseman over the last 15 years. I don't feel like thinking. This is 2025 Cody Bellinger. And if you don't count him as a first baseman, I'm going to be mad. Did not play 10 games at fine. Now I have to think. God. Oh, is it Teixeira? Is there a Mark Teixeira in here? Because I think for a while the Yankees didn't have, like, amazing first basemen in the post-Teixeira era. The Tesh era, if you will. God, if he was a contemporary of Taylor Swift's Eras tour, John Sterling would have said, you're in your Tesh era! Something like that. It's a shame, really. Rest in peace, John Sterling. And also Mark Teixeira's baseball career. And hopefully very soon, Mark Teixeira's political career. Anyway, it could be Teixeira. It could be Greg Bird. Greg Bird had, like, one good season. Could be Ben Rice. Could just be 2025 Ben Rice. He's very good. Yeah, it could just be Ben Rice, actually. Ben Rice is very good. Could be Ben Rice. There's nothing saying it can't be Ben Rice, right? It turns out that Ben Rice was fine last year, but not amazing. The answer is DJ LeMahieu, but also Mark Teixeira. So, good job. Good job, Goog. You knew the answer and didn't fucking say it like a fucking dumbass. San Diego Padre who played in the Nilds. All right. The Padres make the playoffs with Fernando Tatis Jr. That seems reasonable. He's very good. My score at the moment is 14 and change. So let's see here. 2024 Fernando Tatis Jr. Sounds 2023. 2023 did not play in the Nils. 2024 played in the Nils and had a 2.7 WAR. Sad. I was wrong. Manny Machado would have been the modern Paul. A shame. Or Kevin Brown or Ken Caminiti or other guys who are guys. All right, fine. This has been Good Morning Mini Motorways. Folks, I think I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know. Work schedules are going to work. I'm presently the third string Boston guy, which means I'm going all over the place. And they've hired someone to bump me down to the fourth string Boston guy. But that person will need training. So who the hell knows? Am I right? I'm probably right. This, as always, is the end screen. Thank you for watching. I shall see you at some point in the indeterminate future. To the indeterminate future!